One.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Chromebook Coding for Beginners. Um, I wanted to add another video to the series. This is going to be number 6. We talked about CodePen in the first 2 or 3 videos. Then I showed you this free code camp just briefly in video 4, and then I think I did Code School in video 5. We're going to jump back to free code camp for this. I wanted to show you a little more specifically how the site works. So once you've made your account, and you added a picture and stuff, this will be where your picture pops up. This is how you get access to your account, your profile information. Um, and there's a bunch of stuff in here. They have a pledge where you can donate. You kind of make like a pledge to yourself about committing to. Let's click on it and see exactly what it is. Commit to yourself, commit to a nonprofit. And there's a nonprofit called Black Girls Code, which is devoted to showing the world that black girls can code and do so much more. So that looks like a pretty cool nonprofit. You can click to see some more. And then you kind of commit to yourself like which certificates. They have a front end, data visualization, back end, the full stack. And you can pledge to donate money until you get that certificate. And you can donate to whichever nonprofit you want to. So I haven't even looked into much of that yet, but it seems like a good thing. Like this site's it all kind of revolves around the nonprofit work. Like you end up, if you get good enough, you end up coding for nonprofits, which is pretty cool. And you can like update some of your settings in here, and you're linked to GitHub, which is another site that we'll talk about later. Yeah, the beta, something went wrong trying to look at my profile in here. But anyway, I'll show you how some of these. I already showed you how the menu kind of breaks down with these little arrows. So that opens up a whole new section, responsive web design. And in there'll be a bunch of subsections until you get your certificate at the end of it. So right now I've been working on applied visual design. And you can see these ones are a little faded out. And that means that I've completed the challenge. So these are all usually like most of them are little challenges. So if we go into this one, adjust the background color property of text. So this is teaching us some basics. This is a great website to learn kind of these basics. And then over here, it's going to kind of describe the little topic we're talking about, which is the background color of text. And it goes through and it talks about RGBA color. It tells you all about that. And it gives you this color here, RGBA 45, 45, 45, opacity or alpha 0.1. And it tells you it produces a dark gray color, which is nearly transparent given the opacity. But I want you to use that color to make the text stand out more. And I want you to give it to the H4 element, that RGBA value. And also for the H4 element, remove the height property and add padding of 10 pixels. All right, so here we go. You get in, it's got like a little simulated style sheet and web page right here. Here's the style sheet portion, and then here's the HTML portion. And when we run tests over here in this empty spot is going to show us what all this is going to look like as a page. This one's about, it's a little blurb about the founders of Google. But anyway, where were we? Where's the H4 tag? Okay, so it wanted us to delete the height. I'll get that and cut that out. Then it wants us to give it padding 10 pixels. And it'll show you, it teaches you how to do all this, all the syntax, the colon, semicolon, and then it wants to give a background color of this right here. Well, I could type it in, but we can also just copy and paste. Semicolon. And then you can click the run test button, or you can just hit Control Enter. Boom. And it automatically does it. Now you can go right to the next challenge by clicking that right there, or you can close it, or you can click off the screen to look and kind of examine what happened. I like to do that. So now you can see it. We've added that padding around H4, which was alphabet. You can see there's padding. And we added that background color, which you can see is that light gray. Then I'll just go like this one more time and go to the next challenge. And we'll be still working. It's cool because you'll still be working on that same little blurb for a while. You'll do a bunch of different stuff to it. So let's see, what's this one? Font size. Talking about H1 and H6 tags, how they gradually get smaller, but they're all bigger than your paragraph tag. So you can break up your data or your information that's on your page and draw people's attention as they're scanning the page to the big things. This is about font size. Make the heading significantly larger than the paragraph. Change the font size of the H4 tag to 27 pixels. So that's easy. Just pop over to here. Font size, colon, 27 pixels, px, semicolon, test. Boom. And you can see alphabet just got bigger. So these are just really fundamental, and what we're doing is CSS. These are like really fundamental CSS. And okay, we're already on to the next challenge. Add a box shadow to a card-like element. And then it explains everything about the box shadow. Then it gives you an example of how to enter it in with your X. That would be the offset X, offset Y, and it's telling you up here blur radius, spread radius, and color value. So these are optional. So this is either a blur or a spread radius. Probably a blur radius, since that would be the first one. There's no spread radius here. Those are really like technical things. You just need to know that that third number is kind of like the blur in this case. The element now has an ID of thumbnail. With this selector, use the example CSS values above to place a box shadow. So we're just using this as our box shadow. And they've given the div an ID of thumbnail. So we'd enter it in like this. Thumbnail. Control V. Boom.